So the witch doctor's main purpose is as a diviner. He sees and interprets and can diagnose witchcraft. Now, he can use oracles such as the rubbing board that we'll see in the documentary, but he'll also, after long dances going into sort of a trance, will be able to make oracular pronouncements and pronounce someone a witch in these public, excuse me, in what Evans Pritchard calls public seances. Now, you might have heard the word seance before, as in like people sitting in a circle in spiritualism, contacting the dead. Seance is from a French word that just means to sit. So public sessions is probably a better way to say it. All right, so these folks are part of daily life, but they also have this secret life in which they were initiated, in which they, over a long period of time, learned techniques and learned the trade of being a shaman from another shaman, at levels of initiation, and ingested various medicines, which Evans Pritchard writes about really interestingly throughout the book. The medicines are thought to just be these powerful plants that they're given by their teacher, and as they consume them, the medicine is integrated into their body, making them powerful and strong. Now, Evans Pritchard was able to befriend a man who was being initiated, and he got a lot of information from him. And the man was just steadily and progressively initiated into the Brotherhood of Witch Doctors. Now, I said witch doctors conduct seances, from the French to sit, in which they dance and they divine and they make pronouncements in public, accompanied by drums. And they recruit the drummers from just like whoever's around. Like, you're doing the drums. We're doing the seance. Come on, let's make it happen. The recruits are informally picked up from the area, and these are great shows. Evans Pritchard says they're a lot of fun. The Royals throw them as almost entertainment. There's always some innuendo. There's some singing. There's some dancing. It's a good time. A good time is had by all, young and old. So generally, these are undertaken when a householder fears that he or someone in his household has been put under the influence of witchcraft. Now, these witch doctors will dance themselves into a frenzy and then utter these oracular statements. Now, an interesting thing here is that the rubbing board and the poison oracle are considered to be more reliable than the witch doctors. So when they are performing, they have sort of two modes. Like they'll start out and they'll just be acting normal. But then as they start dancing, they'll start addressing the crowd and they'll be really Evans Pritchard says truculent. They'll be belligerent. They'll be sort of commanding and antagonizing. And they act very, extremely confident in everything they're saying. But then at a certain point, they'll just kind of snap and they'll start speaking in this like dream-like, trance-like way where there's difficulty getting kind of words out. And that's when they make their most powerful pronouncements of who is suffering from witchcraft and possibly who a witch is, though we find out later you have to be really careful calling somebody a witch in public because they might want to kill you afterward. Okay, so Evans Pritchard notes that a lot of these statements they make are informed by them knowing local knowledge. So these they know all the gossip. They know everybody involved. Generally, these witch doctors will work in small groups and they'll see, a limited amount of villages. So they know everybody. So, of course, they're going to know who's being a witch to who. So this doesn't remove any of the power of it. But, Evans Pritchard really notes it's like, are they speaking from the other side? Does it really matter? It's just pretty clear that they're already having knowledge of these situations influences them. So the witch doctors will actually engage in question and answer with the audiences as they perform their oration. Now, when they do declare that someone is a witch, they have to be careful because Evans Pritchard tells a story where one guy is accused of being a witch by a witch doctor, and he grabs a knife and tries to stab the guy, or threatens to stab the guy. So what Pritchard notes is often they'll be very vague, like, oh, you're afflicted by witchcraft. I can't quite, I don't know. And then in private, they'll tell the person that sponsored the ritual is like, okay, this is the name of your witch. Now you guys got to go do something about it. So Pritchard describes that they dance their questions. It's not just their voice, but the questions are asked to them by the audience, and they dance out those very questions. All right. So how does one become a witch doctor? And I don't think this is an Azandi guy, but I like the picture. Anyway, so a youth who expresses sort of the desire to become a witch doctor will steadily learn from their elders. They'll go through long periods of training, probably with long periods in isolation, meditation, trance, and whatnot. And they'll have all sorts of various levels of initiation ceremonies. So learning their magic here requires them to progressively consume medicines. So these are powerful plant substances manipulated in secret by their shaman elders, by their witch doctor elders, and then given to the initiate, usually in exchange for quite a bunch of gifts. So, like Evans Pritchard notes, magic, like anything else, is purchased. It's something you buy. So there's long systems of exchange and gifts given by the initiand to the initiator. Initiator, one who initiates. Initiand, one who is initiated. Sort of like analyzer in psychoanalysis, one who does psychoanalysis, the analyzer and the analyzand. Okay, so like I said, a significant part of these initiations are slowly and progressively ingesting these plant substances that give a person the power to be a witch doctor and make them generally strong and potent. All right,